Garden update, 23rd of June 2026. I just noticed there's a gazania showing through there. I have weeded this a bit, and then more weeds have come in, but that's right, so that's how it stands at the moment. The side garden. We'll go around the front. The two Australian natives could probably do with some pruning, actually. They're getting quite big, but that's alright. The random tree, self-seeded. Be interesting to see what sort that is. You can see one last of the sunflowers. Probably need to cut that down, chop and drop as it were, but we'll let it go for the moment. The amaranth is still doing quite well. It's looking a bit sort of droopy, but it's still there. Whereas other ones look like they've sort of given up. Excuse the car going past. Move over to the other side. And the lemon tree actually has lemons on it. Oh, that's another smaller one starting down there. So there are the two big ones there, that smaller one. There's another one here. There could be some others, I'm not sure. Alyssum there. Again, liliums probably need to be cut back. The raspberry ripple rose, got a few rose hips on it, which is good. Did some weeding around here as well. And haven't done weeding there. Hollyhock, snapdragons, alyssum. And this bit here, there could be weeds coming through, but I did also scatter some seeds on here, so they could actually be starting to come up. I actually thought these were weeds. I pulled that one up, which is why there's a little stick there, and there's a bulb at the bottom of it. So I think those might actually be saffron, because I did plant some, so it'll be interesting to see how that comes about. Anyway, on the corner, the rose on the corner that doesn't have a scent, unfortunately, but it's there nonetheless. And the front garden looking a little bit worse for wear at the moment, just because it's winter, so that's alright. There's still some nice little dashes of colour here and there. Good old snapdragons providing the heavy lifting there. We'll go around the back. So in the backyard, or the veggie patch, the geranium or pelargonium, I can't remember what the technical sort of name for it is, but still a little bit of colour on it. It is looking a bit sort of worse for wear, but again, winter. Yes, I have corn in my garden at winter. These are a late planting. I was just sort of seeing if anything would happen from them. And there is actually a corn cob there, but I don't expect it to actually get to anything worthwhile. I think it's just been too cold for them, but it's still a bit funny sort of seeing them sitting there. The other thing is the grapevine, which is less lost its leaves now, has got some grapes on it for some reason. Most of this area here has a lot of weed matter in it. Or, depending on your perspective, it doesn't. What I mean by that is, if I'm not mistaken, the definition of a weed is basically a plant that is growing where it's not wanted. So if I consider this ground cover, then it is wanted, and it's not weeds, and I don't have any weeds. I don't think it works that way, but that'll do. It is actually going to be ground cover of a sort, though, because it is stopping the ground from drying out and all those sorts of things. So I actually don't mind it being there. What I want to do at some point is basically, I've got a rake, I don't have a hoe, so I'd be basically raking it back so it's bare soil. But the problem with that is I think there are leaks basically all through there. So I'm probably not going to do that. I'll probably end up basically hand weeding, which I have been doing every now and then, which is why there's some patches and things in it, but it doesn't matter. It's all good, all fine. And lots of potato plants. Some are actually intentionally sown. I think these are the ones from the seed potatoes, the Binchy and the pink fir apple. I think some of those are still in there. And then the rest of these are basically just ones that have been from the compost, essentially, or bits and pieces from the compost. These, I believe, are actually garlic. And I say I believe they're actually garlic because it turned out I actually did get some cloves from last year. They're actually not too bad. Some of them are actually quite decent. So I took some for the pantry and I put some in here. And then it seems I also have a whole bunch of self-seeded alliums of some variety. I'm not sure what though. They could very well be leeks because I had some here And I think the seed heads probably drooped over this way, but that's fine. All free food, in a sense, as it were. The archway, I've managed to train some of the vine across it. I do need to trim a lot of that, and that's also got some grapes on it as well, but we'll see how we go there. The pumpkin plant is no longer here, of course. I've got the self-seeded whatever fruit tree that is. So that'll be an interesting thing to see. This bed is not too bad. The little strawberry plant there was actually from this. And that actually looks like I could put that in some soil. There was a runner that went over here. I snipped off the end of it, and that's what I've got growing there now. This pea plant is clearly not doing too well, and neither is that one, but that's okay. It's a bit cold and wet. The pineapple plant that I put out here, I mean, there's still some life in it, but it's looking a bit sort of worse for wear, but that's all right. Around the corner, the rhubarb has gone dormant, I would assume. The gooseberry, I suspect I need to trim that, prune it I should say. I need to look into how to do that because it didn't fruit this past season, so I need to see if there's a special thing that I need to do with it. I suspect it might be the soil. I'm going to guess that they need to have ericaceous soil, in which case that's probably what needs to happen there. The purple sprouting broccoli has obviously gone over and over. Another self-seeded fruit tree, which is fine. The bamboo, which is looking a lot healthier, even getting some taller ones now, so that's great, because that's what I want it for, is the canes. Actually, you can even see there are some thicker canes in the back there, which is good. I've got another brassica here, not sure what sort it is, but doesn't matter, it's all welcome. The josterberry, or yosterberry, depending on how you want to say it, seems to be doing well. It hasn't fruited, but again, I think it needs ericaceous earth as well. So this bit here is kind of going to be the berry bed, as it were, because I've also got the blueberry hiding here amongst the jonquils, daffodils. I can't remember, but they're starting to get some flowers there, which is nice. And again, we have our snapdragons, because they're the lovely champions of the garden, bring a bit of colour. As are the hollyhock, to be fair. The compost heap still doing fine. It actually has a whole bunch of the pumpkin vines on it now, which is good. The pond is nicely filled at the moment because, of course, the rain has been topping it up. I should probably actually trim this plant back. We'll see how we go. I have actually done a bit of weeding in the pond because there's some plant. There's a plant in there, I should say. I'm not sure if it's one that I actually bought or if it's just one that's managed to get in there, and it tends to fill out the bottom. So I'll see if I can sort of prune that back a bit. I think we still have cloud whitefish in there. I'm not certain because I haven't sort of checked recently. They tend to sort of stay on the lower levels and then come up occasionally for feeding. But I do suspect that the telescopic eye moorfish are no more. And I don't know if that's from birds or cats or something like that coming through, but I haven't seen any near the surface anymore, so I assume that they are no more. There's a lilium, a couple of lily flowers there by the looks of it, waiting to bloom, so that'll be interesting. This fruit tree is doing quite nicely, which is good. I do need to prune the apple tree, which is looking fine, which is good. Can't remember what that plant is. I think it was a rainbow something or other. The raspberry, which again did not bloom. Well, it didn't bloom, and so there were no fruit on it this season. Lots of weeds here, and then it looks like we've got some, possibly some more jonquils there. I'm not sure. The cutting of the gooseberry there, obviously growing in amongst weeds. Again, don't have weeds because they're meant. Well, actually, those ones aren't meant to be there. That's just being a bit of a mess. So, I guess I do have some weeds either way. Into the greenhouse. Now, these are store-bought, but that's fine. I don't care. They're basically a punnet sort of thing, similar to that. I don't think it was actually that one, but similar to that. So, I just separated them, put them into their own pots so that they could grow on a bit, which is good. This, and this are actually from seed. and I think they're ranunculus. I'm not sure. And this one actually came out first, and yet it looks the weakest of them all. So this one's looking quite nice and healthy. And this one's looking quite nice and healthy. This one I think was actually bent over for a while. It looks like it's perked up a bit, which is good. I think these are lettuce. At least these three are. Obviously need to be put out in the garden, really, but I haven't done that. These have obviously given up because I haven't looked after them properly, so they don't exist. They do, but whatever, doesn't matter. I think these are probably brassica. Again, same sort of problem. That one looks like it's died off. There is another one here, which kind of looks all right, but I should probably put those out as well. But again, a whole bunch of mess in the garden bed that needs to be tidied up. The rosemary, well, not cuttings, these are the ones from the store-bought pack of rosemary. They actually look like they're doing all right. So there's at least, let's say, 1, 2, 3 that look healthy, and one that's perhaps on the edge, but that's all right. Going over this way, the pineapple in a pot is doing all right. But a bunch of tomato seeds there. For some reason, that one's actually got fresh flowers on it, so I guess it's still trying to grow some tomatoes, but never mind. Obviously an allium there, and I'm going to say self-sown, self-seeded potatoes. This area here obviously needs to be done over. It was going to be chop and drop, which is why all that muck is there. That's the tomato plants, because the theory is chop and drop and give it some vegetation to rot down and basically make it nice soil again, which it still kind of is, but I may end up putting semi-raised beds back in here again, just for a bit of neatness, but I'm not entirely sure about that yet, so I'll think about it. Out to the rest of the back. So we have some more potatoes and some more weeds. I'll just make sure yep, that's all right. Yes, a daffodil. Yeah, daffodil. I don't know why that's there though. I don't remember putting that in there. I thought this was basically garlic and probably some ginger. That still may be ginger. I'm not sure. I'll probably have to go through that at some point and clear it out and see what we can manage from it. And here, I believe this is a carrot, and then possibly some garlic. This should be either a snow pea or a sugar snap pea, and then the remains of the, I think they were loofah seeds, either loofah seeds or pumpkin, but I'm not sure, I don't remember. Aloe vera plant that came with the house with the pot, so I basically don't do anything with that. It just continues on its own. Excuse the noise, that's the heater, because again, winter. Alright, and these bits are, well, ignore that, that's basically part of the back decking stuff. There's a lot of moisture here at the moment, which is why I haven't mown, because I'm pretty sure that's not great for the lawnmower, but ho-hum. Let's have some more, presumably, daffodils and things there. Oh, I know what they might be from. Before he moved out, the eldest was working at a supermarket, and one of the people he was working with, I think, found out that I do a bit of gardening and things, so they handed him a whole bunch of bulbs. At the time, he explained it, I think, as being basically a bunch of compost. What I didn't realise is that, no, I think the person was actually trying to offer me some flowers and things like that. That might be what they are, and that might be why there are some scattered throughout places that I don't remember putting in there. The other possibility is that they absolutely did put them in there and I just don't remember. Very possible as well. So, down there is where the dahlia that I bought from Tuber, the one remaining of the three, is hopefully surviving and will be overwintering. There are a couple of the tubers that got broken off there in the front, which seem to be all right, so we'll see how they go. The Hebe's looking nice and healthy now. What I assume to be nectarine tree is looking healthy at the moment, just because it's winter, it's not meant to have leaves on it. I should try and trim back the branches that goes over the neighbour's fence, which I might do at some point. It's never borne fruit, but I think it's just, well, I'm not really sure why, but probably needs better care. Clearly this needs a lot of weeding, but again we have some more of those bulbs popping up there, which is nice. The lavender's really shot up. I think I may still have an orange tree from seeding there, but I don't think it's particularly surviving or doing well, but whatever. I think Seaside Daisy some weeding to do in there. Obviously the multi-headed sunflower has gone over, and the apple tree is still looking very healthy. I just noticed it's got one of the branches going down there, there's a bunch of leaves still on it, and the one that's going sort of more straight up rather than up and out is looking fine as well. And yeah, so yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, happy gardening, and I'll see you next time.